Hello everyone, it's Brittany at Big Cat Rescue here in Tampa, Florida, and I want to share another home tour with you. This time it is for Beecher. He's a Savannah cat that lives here at Big Cat. And what I would like to do is just show you his entire space. So it can be a little hard to know a cat's true enclosure size here when you only see one little picture or frame in a video. So let me just walk in here and then we're gonna walk his entire enclosure. He might help us. You wanna give the tour, bud? So Beecher was privately owned as a pet. He was sadly fully declawed because the owner thought that might make him less destructive. Yeah, that was wrong. He's still very much wild. If you don't fully know or understand Savannah cats, they are man-made. It's a hybrid. It's when someone takes a wild cat like an African serval and breeds them with a domestic house cat. They hope that the cat will come out looking very exotic, but will have more of a temperament of a domestic cat. And generally it's the opposite. A lot of times they're very plain looking, yet they're super wild and destructive. So unfortunately Beecher was declawed before arriving here, but we've given him a ton of space. It's like having a couple apartments combined or a decent sized home. Each one of these bubbles that you're about to see is anywhere from 12 to 1,800 square feet, and he's got a couple of those that are all connected. So we're just gonna take a little walk around his enclosure. So he has a coolaroo bed. He also clearly has some natural foliage that he quite enjoys. He chews on that a lot and lays in there and plays around with it. He does have a tree, but unfortunately without claws. He doesn't do much with it. He does have a couple toys of various sizes. He might be a smaller cat, but has a big attitude. He's got a nice den there that is full of some fresh straw, help keep him warm. We're in Florida, so it doesn't get super cold, but we've had a couple nights in the 40s. Hi, you want to show everybody what you have? A lot of times Savannah cats, when they're in an environment as a pet, they might bond with one or two family members at the most. Unfortunately, though, they tend to be very aggressive and territorial, so they just don't make good pets. We just don't believe that, you know, they should be subjected to having a split personality where their DNA says they're wild, but they're supposed to be kind and gentle. So he's got this hanging toy here. He's got a really nice platform. A lot of you guys probably recognize this as the enclosure where Small's bobcat used to live. She moved just down the road just a little bit. We've already seen her home tour. You can rewatch that. dailybigcat.com has a whole playlist called Home Tours. So he's got this nice big platform. He's got all this beautiful foliage right outside of his enclosure. He's got a couple different varieties of toys, some more natural trees, another view of his platform there. Yeah. You want to show him what else you have? Yeah. So he has this low platform that I've seen him hide under. He really enjoys that. This is the backside view of his feeding lockout. You can see there's a guillotine door that can be opened and closed there. Another view, that is Smalls' old tree stump. So he does have this ramp that can take him up on top of this very large concrete den. And then there's the den opening. And then here's kind of a view on the outside. This is his favorite spot. He can blend in right here. He pretty much hangs out there all day. It's his version of the back of the couch. It's what a real wild cat would want. And then you can see that there's another opening here to that very large den. You can actually see all the way through. Got to be able to find the cat at all times. So lots of ferns growing. Here is his feeding lockout. So his actually has a fairly lower water bowl. I believe a geriatric cougar lived here prior. So sometimes our water bowls, generally, for the most part, they are raised and lifted off the ground and offset off of the enclosure because cats have the instinct to pee in water, and we want their water to stay fresher for longer. So he doesn't do that, thankfully. So he's got a water bowl. You can see that there is chicken wire. That's just to keep any large birds or squirrels or any kind of critters from trying to steal food. He has a ceramic plate that helps keep debris out of the water for longer. The cleaners are actually coming around right now, so that'll be fresh and brand new. You can see them in the background, Angel and Robin. And so then he also has a food plate that they will scrub off and make everything nice and clean for the next feeding. Again, the guillotine door used if we ever needed to catch him. Another view back into the enclosure. And very tall ceilings. He's not much for climbing unless it's on a platform. So he has one safety entrance because he has basically two really large bubbles connected. So there's this bubble that goes to that guillotine door right by that blue toy. And then he has this large bubble that has his feeding lockout and his really large den. So if we needed to go into either of these enclosures, which we'll be doing soon because it's non-stop raking season here in Florida, is we have these clips and locks on the door. We would unlock this outer door, we would go in, and then we would either choose this door or that door. And we'd close and lock it behind us, and then we can rake or repair things or add enrichment or do anything that we need to do. And we always go into the side that the cat is not in. So he does have an elevated water bowl here. And then he does actually have another lockout here. Now again, this enclosure was built previously for, I believe, a cougar. And so they mainly had this lockout here just in order to catch the cat if they needed to. So it's not technically the same type of feeding lockout you've seen because you see the water bowl is not inside of it. So this would have been built more for probably medical purposes than anything else. But the water bowl is still in this section. So if we had to lock Beecher over in this area in order to do maintenance on that other side, he would still have access to a food lockout and a water bowl. So we are pretty much back to where we started. Let's go back over really quickly and just see if we can get one more glimpse of this beautiful boy. He's over here taking a little bath, probably before his all-day nap. Hi, Beach. You're blending in so well over here. So if you guys are ever curious to learn about why we do what we do with some of our enclosures, you can learn a lot from watching this home tour series at dailybigcat.com. Or you can also check out our website, bigcatrescue.org/cages. And if you want to learn about the individual cats like Beecher here, you can go to bigcatrescue.org/catbio. And you'll find a list of all of our cats, and then you can find out their birth dates and their backstories. Beecher's got a very interesting one and a major lesson learned for somebody who thought they could have a wild animal as a pet. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I know Beecher appreciates it, and we will see you guys on the next video.